Can everybody hear me? Okay, I can hear me now. Shout out to everybody. I don't know if you heard a lot of background noise. The TV's on and everything. Um, am I muted? Let me know if you can hear me. Now you can hear me. Thank you. Um, let me tell you guys something. I got this is the second email on this, and I said, my God, is this a sign? Because maybe I do need to be talking about this. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you. I've got words. Thank you, love. I appreciate you for your email. So, and I mean, I've got words has been a subscriber of my channel. So I definitely take what I've got words says very seriously as well. I've seen her here, and so I think this is important. This story hasn't gotten a whole lot of like I haven't seen a lot of blogs talk about it. If I mean, I think part of it is because I'm even don't even know if it's real, but at the same time, I want to know why this YouTuber, she's an attorney and she's a journalist. So I honestly think that credibility matters 100%. And people are talking about there's court documents here and there's this and there's that. And I'm very and you right. That's why I'm like, is this a rabbit hole that I've fallen into? This is why I'm like testing the waters on this because I don't know if I can really listen. I'm the biggest skeptic of the world, right? The biggest one. You talk about the twin seed immediate intervention. I haven't really looked into it all the way, but I said, it's insane. What do you think though? Is it like, is it just me? Those are big communities. I'm a little scared because I'm not very knowledgeable. Just like when I touched the submersible stuff, I was like, I'm not knowledgeable about that. I'm not. And you guys had to correct me. Really? Something's very wrong. And I was listen, I am I'm very much a little channel, okay? I'm not anywhere near the numbers of Miss BJ or any of the, bigger channels. But I'm a little surprised that Popcorn Planet hasn't even picked this up. Have they looked into this? I'm kind of curious. Um and I also think that someone who's an attorney and is a journalist, I don't think she would put her stuff on the line at all. Really? Okay. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna put my feet in the water a little bit, but I'm very cautious about it. I'm just telling you, because is she okay? All right. Well, I've never met her, but this is the second email this week that I said. And the first email that I got, I saw it. I didn't respond to it. I saw it, and I was looking at some of the videos, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. What am I supposed to do? Um, But what do we do here? We talk about cases, we bring awareness. That's what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to talk about it. So let me show you something. Okay. Um, I'm not like, I'm just telling you, I'm a little leery about some of this stuff. I'm the biggest skeptic. Okay. But it sounds to me, you've known about this for 10 years? Oh, God. Okay. I knew about cryonics. I knew about that, but I just didn't know about like I'm learning. All right, keep that in mind. Wow, really? Oh, look at you guys. BJ won you over because she surrendered. Hold up, she surrendered her law. She surrendered her law license because she no longer believed lawyers are making the good guys are always the good guys. She broke my heart in that video. Really? I'm not. I'm not. Listen, I'm not well versed. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to read this. Um, I thought this was very interesting. Let me go ahead and read it, and you guys let me know your thoughts. So it goes like this story: Missing twins, Bama, sex trafficking, transhumanism, and virtual reality. Look, to me, when I read this, I said, I don't know how I feel. Like these keywords, transhumanism, what is that? I mean, I do know about it, but I'm like, in terms of what is that in sex trafficking and missing twins? I don't know. Bam is not Bama. Bam is that isn't that MTV star who's like always on TMZ all the time? I Google searched him and he's recently in the news right now about some stuff, right? I know I'm not off here. Pretty much. Pretty much. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at the comments. All right, let me stop looking at the comments because I'm being distracted. She says, I'm a lawyer and an independent journalist with a few YouTube channels. I have been working on a story that is so bizarre and unbelievable that it changed my perception of reality. It involves Bam, identical twins who vanish. Allegations of sex trafficking and mind control, virtual reality, transhumanism, cryonics, and at least one unexplained death. Cryonics. It sounds like someone is implying alien inference. That's what I'm saying when I first read it. I said, I don't know how I feel about this. She does. You know what I think I heard of it? That's what I'm saying. Generally, Jenny, if you could be my like hold my fire, hold my feet to the fire on this one because I'm struggling. He was part of Jack. Thank you. That's what I said. Isn't he like some big MTV star? All of the people that were part of Jackass there seem to be very controversial. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Amanda. Oh my gosh. Okay. I I'm having a hard time. I'm just letting you know. I'm reading this and I'm having a hard time with this. So I don't know. Los Federales, you tell me what you think on this, okay? All right. I appreciate you guys being here for me to even talk about this because I wasn't sure how I was going to touch this, okay? So it says every time I try to distill the story into a DR, I fail. But I could really use some help, so I'll try again here. Last year, I found out Bam from MTV's Jackass was in a conservatorship under a woman named Lima Tequil. I don't know how to say her last name. Is it uh Jeronovich? She's the leader of a California transhumanism party. I quickly found that Lima has multiple aliases and connections to a huge YouTube influencer, including Stevo, Adam22, Soft White Underbelly, Disassociated, and 16 Leo. She's a CEO of a digital health company using experimental virtual reality treatment on vulnerable populations, including veterans, homeless, sex workers on Skid Row and the mentally ill. Her husband owns an investment fund. Wow, they manage a lot. Bam has come to my house in Princeton a few times to film a series of interviews. He told me that he was held in rehab against his will and denied medical treatment. Lima has identical twins who were merged in Hollywood socialites and filmmakers with a successful YouTube channel of their own before mysteriously vanishing from the internet. One of the sisters reported missing several times after running away, and she uses running away. Recently, I requested body cam footage of a December 2022 arrest wherein one of the twins accuses their mother of sex trafficking, stalking, harassment, and bizarre sex rituals involving stem cell harvesting, technological experiments, and mind control. The twins' allegations were completely dismissed by a police officer, and she was taken away in handcuffs. I wouldn't believe most of any of this if I hadn't been following the story myself and seen the evidence in the public records. I would really appreciate if you or your team could give this story a look and see what you think. I could really use some backup with getting the word out. Thanks so much for your time. And guess what? In this, there's links. So we're going to hit those links, okay? I'm just yes, we said transhumanism. Okay, and I had to like Google search transhumanism. I did. For those that don't know, if you Google it, it comes up transhumanism, the philosophical and scientific movement that advocates the use of current emerging technologies such as genetic engineering, cryonics, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology to augmentate human capabilities and improve the human condition. This reminds me of some Vanilla Sky movie. Where is Tom Cruise? Look, I'm the biggest skeptic. So I'm just saying, for an attorney and a journalist to put her credibility on the line, it just makes me like, I'm just saying. I've heard of people use cryonics. I think there was a YouTube channel or a YouTube video that I watched of a young girl who died and elected to, like, she was going through like cancer or something like that, and then she froze her body and her body's still frozen in some refrigerator in Arizona or Texas or some shit like that. Like human really? I'm gonna do a poll because I need to feel you guys, like, where are you guys at with this? I didn't even did I tell Twitter that I was live? I don't even think I did. I started and I was like, this is weird, but we're gonna look into it. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Let me see. Give me a second. And make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please and thank you. It helps with the algorithm. Let me let everybody know that we are live. I was reading and it just got really distracted. Going live now. All right, let's share this. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you. And shout out to all the beautiful, wonderful members. I didn't greet everybody right now. I will be greeting you. I was so taken back by the emails and the videos. We're going to watch them here live now. Is this real? Here we go. Let's go. Let's click some of that stuff and let me put a poll real quick. Poll. Is this real? Not sure, need more info. Is this real what BJ is talking about? Here we go. All right, you guys vote. Do me a favor and vote. I'm just, this is a huge rabbit hole. You think that it's real, but the generally Jenny says that the conspiracy stuff is a little outlandish for me. Poll trolls unite. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at you guys. A lot of you guys are kind of in between yes, not sure, need more info. Well, guess what? We could click those links that are in the body of this video. Hold up. And let me show you. And by the way, this is under fair use, but it's my understanding that Miss BJ over here investigates is okay with us using those links, so as long as it's bringing awareness to the story. Okay, so we're gonna do just that right now. Let's watch
interview from that very first night. Faxing defamation, love me, goodbye. That's what I heard. Oh, this is silly little maniac. Funny story. That's what your brother called me. Yes, I've seen the videos from the silly little maniac. She has no idea what she's talking about.
I don't know.
So I sold stickers that said silly little maniac for the free BAM cause.
Can you both give me 3 cops?
Yeah. Should I rock them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Hold this one.
We're
we just
ready.
broke the internet with that one. Whoo, the Reddit forums are going to not know what to do. Here, do you need more?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Bam Margera, the man, the myth, the legend, in my humble abode, that surprise witness BJ Investigates Studios Productions, right here where it all happens. This is pretty surreal to actually have you in this room.
So this is the MTV guy, the jackass guy. Okay, keep that in mind.
Kept kind of thinking like, oh, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be, something's going to happen. It's not, Lima's going to show up with some cops, some crazy shit. But Bam Margera is here. As of right now, no cops. So thank you for being here, Bam.
Well, you're welcome. But I've been put away for like a year and a half with no internet, no music. No, do you know that I'd use my every time? Like I couldn't even use it for, but I'm just saying, I had no music, no interweb, no nothing for a year and a half. As soon as I got out, I was like outside of the Starbucks with my buddy. I was like, I can't believe this. And I went to the beach. I was like, the beach. Like I've been locked up. So
what happened when you would try to leave?
When I would try to leave, Well, then I get Baker acted again.
Mm-hmm. So it was all in Florida this was happening.
Yeah, it's called the Florida Shuffle.
So let's rewind a little bit.
And I am the definition of the Florida Shuffle because the judge said they've never seen anybody get shuffled this hard. I got shuffled 11 times, 90 days, 90 days, 90 days, 90 days.
And what would happen right toward the end of your
$1,300 every
90 days?
night. Can you flip this coin? If it lands on heads, it's tell the truth day, say whatever I want day. And if it lands on tails, then there's certain things like I'm not allowed to talk about.
I gotta flip the coin.
Yeah.
All right.
And please, guys, I am not familiar. I mean, I know about Jackass, the MTV show, but if there is more that I'm learning, I'm seeking to learn. All right. Like I said, this is the second email that I've received on this that has requested, Rabbit, pay attention to this. This needs to be like, nobody's really talking about this. Rabbit. I was like, all right. Y'all got my attention. And then when I'm finding out, because what really piqued my thought process, well, if this is really happening, like, and there's other YouTubers that maybe know about this and getting paid, I don't know, I'm just wondering, not to speak out. Is this really, really real? You're an expert on this? You did. You're one of the people that you did. You're one of the people that sent me the email. There was 2 emails that I got. And I sat there and said, I don't know what to do with this. But this morning I said, well, damn, maybe I do need to talk about this. Let me see. He used to be a professional skateboarder, then Jackass fame and drugs took over. Interesting. See, there's just so much. But somebody said in here, one of my members said, I'm not buying this. She surrendered the license. Who said it? Was it Big Wheels? Was it Big Wheels? And that's fine. See, he keeps running away from rehab. I think it was you who said you're not buying the fact that she surrendered the license. I mean, that's huge to make. You know what I'm saying? He made some malicious allegations against his former castmates. She absolutely surrendered it. Okay. All right. I also think the mess of his friends, Ryan Dump, late. You could check. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. I've got words. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar. So I was looking at this. I said, wow, this is crazy. But hey.
I think it's gone. It's on. Oh, it's on heads. Look at that.
Yeah, but you have to flip it and everything. Oh, you just did?
Just flip it.
All right.
Oh,
hopefully
flipped.
we get to the interview part.
Here you go.
What do you want me to do?
You can look at any of
It's gonna
it.
take forever.
Well, so I got time.
Well, how about you just ask me a question? I'll answer it.
How did in Arizona? So I saw a video of you, and people characterize it as ranting and raving and whatever. But what you said in this,
When you've been through what I've been through, yes, it is a rant because I have a lot to say. But I don't know anything about this free band movement whatsoever. And because I couldn't have the interweb, so I just didn't ever care to look. But somebody showed me today at Carrie Getz's house, who lives in Cherry Hill, which is, I didn't know where you lived, but I was like, this chick knows a lot of information.
what was it that you heard
and then
that you were
Jack
like,
Tillery
this is it?
said, Jack Tillery said, bam, she lives in Philadelphia. I'm like, what? Get a hold of her then.
I spoke
I'll
to
be on
him
my way.
today.
Yeah.
So what did you hear me say today in the clip that you were like, wait, there's something here I need to know? What do you remember? What piece of information you were like?
It doesn't matter what information
You
it
don't
is,
remember?
is what it was. Yeah, I remember everything. But is what it was when I say certain things, you have an editor zoom into your face and be like, which means that like you know what I'm saying.
I think I do.
Yeah.
So
But you're on my level.
So you don't really know anything about the free band movement. I've heard you say that.
I know nothing about it at all.
What happens when you've tried to find stuff out about it?
I never have. I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
Yeah, it hasn't really been on your radar. Really.
No, but I'll tell you anything. If you ask me a question about anything that happened, I'll tell you about it. But I've never cared enough to.
So
there's so much fun body cam footage of me the police and being arrested for no fucking reason and all this shit. That
there is a lot of body camera.
I
Have you seen any of that?
Than Puff Daddy, I can tell you that.
Have you seen any of the lawsuit? I mean, have you seen any of the body camera footage?
No.
None of it.
No.
So tell me about which body camera footage I do not have is the Arizona arrest.
That was phenomenal. But what was very funny is when I got arrested at the barracks, it was Phoenix. It was phenomenal. And then I took Phoenix, which is a funny story about.
I'm trying to get to the part where, he kind of tells the story. I know that they're talking about the body cam footage. But I want to get to, I think, just the details of why we're here today.
Embarrassing and very frustrating and very rude. Finally, Destin's girlfriend babysits when Jessica's at work. So Jessica was at work, and then so I'm like, so Destin and his girlfriend drove me up here. They followed me to give you this car. Now I have to go back with them, but she had to babysit. So goes upstairs. She really wants to meet Phoenix. She's like, well, okay, fine. They hit it off. I've seen Phoenix like have play dates and they have fun, but Phoenix were like two peas in a pod. I've never seen anything like it. And we're skipping down the street on Hollywood Boulevard, like 1, 2, 3 and jump. 1, 2, 3 and jump.
I saw that video.
I turn around and Nikki just has this resting
holding
bitch
her
face.
cheetah cardigan.
And I go, what is the problem, Nikki? And she goes, it's just one big happy family. I'm like, well, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
You want to be one big miserable family?
Yes, she does clearly.
No, it's just it's just one big happy family. I thought, I'm like, well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Some people just thrive in chaos. They just need it.
I feel like if you think that I've been scorned, I've been betrayed, I've been backstabbed. I can't even sleep on my back because there's been so many knives in it.
You know what I noticed about Nikki, and I don't know if you noticed this.
Hey, quick question. I've got words. It's a complex multi-layer story, but Lima first experimented her VR virtual reality program. Okay. On her sisters, then Amanda, then Bam. Do we have a picture of who is this Lima lady? Who is this Lima lady? Well, that's what everybody, I mean, do we have a picture? What does she look like? Unfortunately, I can't either, so I'm trusting BJ's videos she has so far. They're refusing to give them all to her anyways for some reason. Go to the twins link, Rabbit. I know, because they're kind of like, I mean, you know, it's an interview. You know, you got to warm up to the interview and whatnot. Let me go to the twins link because I'm like really lost by this. Hold up. Let's see. I'm looking through the paper. One of the sisters. I think this might be out. Whoa. Hold up. So then I hit the link and it took me here. Missing, is it Weehu woman Dahlia Takwali found safely. Okay. Hold up.
A desperate search is underway for a woman who went missing in West Hollywood. Dahlia Takwali was last seen yesterday around 5 p.m. on North Genesee Avenue near Santa Monica Boulevard. She's 30 years old, and the sheriff's department says she is developmentally disabled. They think she could be heading to the area of Sunset Boulevard and Carson Avenue. Takwali's family is very concerned for her well-being and is asking for your help. If you see her, you're asked to call the LA County Sheriff's Department.
I literally said, thank you, West Hollywood. I'm like, spell out the words, you know? Thank you. West Hollywood says, I've got words. I'm looking at these comments. Morals, don't worry. We are all a little bit lost too. It's being okay, but who is this Lima lady? Lima, but have we seen a picture of who Lima is? Who is this Lima lady? Hold up. Lima is suing BJ, so Lima is in a lawsuit right now with BJ. BJ, the one that we're talking about right now. That gave the story some traction. You're going to email me 1 sec. All right, let me go back to the email. All right. Now, I've got words or yep. Okay. If you guys want to come up and give me a little like, because I'm trying, listen, the little outline of it was great to follow, but it's all this in between that I'm like, what am I following? And I think everybody's lost too, right? That's why I don't know what to believe. So I could drop the link if you guys want to come up. Matter of fact, let me check the email right now. I can email it to you. if it would be better, because I mean, I want to be helpful here, but I am a little lost. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost. All right. Let me email you my link, okay? You guys are I'm lost. It is a little all over the place. I'm stepping in at the end. Beth says, yes, I know that. Really, Vic? Okay, perfect. I've got words. This link is for you, love. Here you go. I'm putting it in the chat. I'm also gonna, hopefully we don't have somebody else that clicks that link. If you don't want to be in the camera, just let me know, or just, cover yourself. I put the link for the StreamYard there in the chat. Just, if you just want to hit it. Whoa, this is great. This is intense. You Tia said, I'm so lost. I put my chonas on backwards. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. See, that's how you know you lost. When you put your underwear on backwards. Love. No. Insane Justice, thank you for becoming a member. Well, listen, I've got words to go hit the link. She gonna help us out here because I'm lost. Ooh. That's Lima? Girl, that girl's cute. What happened to her? What'd she do? Damn. Hold up. Is that really her? She looks like a little innocent lady. Is she really innocent or no? Hey, I've got words. Let me put you up. Give me 1 second, okay? How you doing, love?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm trying my best here, but I'm just lost.
No, I understand. I
Like,
understand. It's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, I was a fan of Bam's since I was a teenager or so.
Right.
And so, and I was I've been following That Surprise Witness ever since Back to Brittany, because she very bravely uncovered so many court documents that were out there that most of the public had no idea about, the kind of corruption that was going on in that case, and the multi layers of especially financial corruption that were going on, and who were the players in that case, like with Lou Taylor, and what her father was doing. She really blew the doors down as far as getting all of that out there. And a lot of people, tried to take credit for that, afterwards, I followed after. And that's, and so she's been following a great deal.
Okay. So many people try to take credit from BJ, correct?
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
And the information that she was able to, just bring to the public. And it's public information. I mean, this isn't stuff that's, under any kind of seal. These are public records that anybody can access. This isn't something that just because she's a lawyer, she has access to. No, this is something that, I could access, you could access,
This is real, right? I'm still stuck on the buzzwords, transhumanism and virtual reality being one of them. Can you break it down to those that are just not necessarily, let's break it down a little bit more. For those that are tuning in, if you can, for us. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, so this story really began first when she got information just from somebody emailing that Bam Margera was in a conservatorship. And when she looked into it, and she did so on a live stream, she saw that Lima Taquali Yevramovic, she also goes by other names. She also spells each of these names differently, which is very suspicious.
This lady right here, right? Is this what she looks like?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
And so Lima, and this is all publicly available information. Nothing that I say is anything that's private. But Lima was a video game designer. And she has two twin sisters, Dahlia and Dima. But Dima also goes by other names, like Dia.
Okay.
And they went by the last name Taquali, which is also spelled sometimes with an E, like Tequali. Sometimes it's spelled with an A, Taquali.
Okay.
And spelled sometimes with a QU, sometimes without a U. Is very strange. And it's very, it's odd. And and these two sisters, they were Hollywood actresses, kind of independent, kind of up and coming. They had a YouTube channel where they did a lot of different short films. And actually, one of the actors that was in, I know one, possibly more, videos with them was this guy, Alfred Monero Jr.
Okay.
He actually later, after Amanda Rabb died, came out and said that he was a board member of Lima's this VR program that she created to use for rehab purposes, called Aura. And he claimed
VR program for rehab being like rehab for drugs, right?
yeah.
Let me stop you right there, and I'm gonna add someone else in here. Is this Yep? Who is this that I've added to the stream? Kenya? Nothing. All right. I think something's up with your sound, love. Try to fix that, and then we can bring you up, okay? Sorry. I just wanted to.
Oh no, you're
I don't know
fine.
who that was. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, and Alfred Monero Jr., he was also an actor and trying to be a comedian. He auditioned for American Idol, even. And so, and he's kind of proved to be a bit shady himself. And I know this story is all over the place. But Lima, she, yeah, as I said, yes, was a video game designer initially. She started creating like this rehab type program to use on like a headset, like an Oculus,
Okay.
right? That you put on, and that uh you enter like this virtual world where you're an avatar. And in this virtual world, and Lima actually put a video up on her Lima from Aura Instagram page, showing her former patient, the one that passed away, Amanda Rabb, using this program. What disturbs me greatly, I think the most, is that in this video that she shows, kind of displaying this video of Amanda using this program, is you can hear her laughing at Amanda and making fun of her while she's using it, while Amanda is freaking out and she's overwhelmed, she's overstimulated, and Amanda had some mental issues herself, and so and plus, with addiction, it really appears that, maybe this program was not something that should have been safe for her. This ARA program is not regulated by, by any medical board whatsoever.
Wow.
It's just very experimental. It's something that she created.
Okay.
Initially, she used it on her sisters. We know because one of her sisters posted on her own Instagram about, being experimented on. And plus, Lima herself has admitted in interviews like that one that you're displaying right there with dissociated.
That's a YouTube channel, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Can I play this real quick? Let me see.
Sure, go ahead.
There is no point. I'm tired. I'm hurt. I feel abandoned. I feel like a lost cause. I'm so glad that I kept going. And it's so important that you keep going, because everyone
try to stop the music a little bit.
If you're struggling, your struggle might be able to help someone else. But the most important thing isn't that, oh, you might be able to help someone else. It's that you deserve to be here and you deserve to.
So I'm so confused. So it's experimental, I guess, and she explains it a little bit in her words, right? Let me tell you what she says over here on this post. Hold up. I just posted it up. Was it this one? So they're raising money. Last year, we helped save Amanda's life. This year, let's make that type of treatment accessible to everyone. We raised $15K out of $250K goal to pay for medical care for 1 year. My husband and I have been working hard to keep Amanda in treatment, and we need your help to cover Amanda's medical expenses. Why? Why do they need our help if they're raising money?
And why do they need help when her husband, is an works in investments, and Lima has access, to a great deal of money, and yet she's just like kind of always moaning about being broke. And it's very curious why she does that. And there's more than one GoFundMe, at least, that she raised for Amanda.
They don't even look like the same person. The picture on the this is Amanda. I guess the Amanda who's looks a little bit broken doesn't even look like this Amanda. Like, I know that it's like a before and after, but they don't even facially. That's weird.
There's a lot of things that were very odd when it came to her treatment of Amanda. And I do see, BJ herself is there, in the chat. I don't know if she'd like to speak. I see that you highlighted one of her comments there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm dropping the link if she wants to come up. Listen, Miss BJ, I am new to this. My feet are like still getting wet, and I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, this is multi-level to it, right?
Right. Yeah. When it came to Amanda, Amanda was someone that was homeless and taken off the street. And there was I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube channel Soft White Underbelly.
I've heard of them, but I've never seen one video.
Gotcha. I wouldn't, I have my own personal opinions about that channel. I'll just keep it to myself, but basically he likes, it's run by this guy, Mark Leta, who often goes and speaks with a lot of homeless people on the street. One of them that he spoke with was Amanda Rabb initially, and she had been addicted to drugs, and living on Skid Row in Los Angeles. And he first featured her on his channel. He would say a lot of provocative things to her that would, at least for me, made me very uncomfortable watching. Would kind of like how do you say, suggestive things about sleeping with her.
Okay.
Yeah, which I just found kind of disgusting personally. But then he had Lima on, and Lima wanted to use somebody, and she said this on an episode of Soft White Underbelly, that she wanted to use somebody on his channel for her aura program, because she wanted to help somebody. And so there was, the suggestion that, the audience or viewers would pick who it would be. And then, Lima picked Amanda to use this program on. And so they took her off the street and put her in this rehab program. They tried to put a conservatorship over her. That failed. But they did put her in a rehab program, and she did use this technology on her.
Yeah, and let me just say this. I think, as Chet said, well, why should we care about this? Well, if there is, to me, let's just put Hey, Miss BJ, how you doing?
Hey,
Let's just put, I'm just answering a question to everybody in the chat. So, well, why should we care about this? Like, this is, if there is a program out there that's specifically targeting mental health, drug, people at Skid Row, for example, and using them as experiments, yeah, we definitely need to talk about that. That is an issue. As somebody who has worked in the mental health field, that's huge, and so as I'm reading these posts, it almost looks like she has like guinea pigs, but that's just from what I'm reading right now. But how are you, Miss BJ?
good. I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you so much also for covering this. This is exactly like what I've been begging for several days. Just like other folks take a look at this and get eyes on it. Like you said, you have expertise in mental health. I do not. So I'm really appreciative that you're putting in your perspective. I understand it's very confusing, overwhelming story.
Yes.
It's a rabbit hole. It really is.
It really is.
So just for context, like to better understand the story, you really got 3 stories going on here. And they're
Yes.
all connected in the middle with Lima. This woman, Lima Yevremovich, or Takali, or Mora. She goes by April Mora. She got all these names.
Okay.
But Lima is the central point. But you have 3 stories going on. One story has to do with Bam Margera. He was in a conservatorship. Lima was the conservator. There's a whole side trail with that. Another story has to do with Amanda Rabb, who you were just mentioning, being used as what does seem to be an experiment. Lima has referred to using Amanda as a, quote, case study to get insurance companies to cover basically like bio data tracking type technology for mental health. And then the third story is these twins, and they are identical twin sisters, but they are also Lima's sister. She's their older sister.
Wow.
And her whole spiel when she went on Soft White Underbelly with Mark Leta was, I've learned firsthand through my sisters how to navigate the complicated insurance companies and the mental health. And I want to tell other people how to do it to their family members. And when you would go to her website at the time, the way to do it was to put them in a conservatorship, an LPS conservatorship specifically in California. But yeah, so her whole thing, it was laid out. There were steps. Step 1 was conservatorship or jail. So she would wait until they would commit something that would be a crime in order to basically, in my opinion, entrap them. They could go to jail or they could be experimented on. And that's kind of like the premise of what I think is going on across all 3 stories. Is every single one, it begins with them committing some type of alleged crime, whether it be assault or terroristic threat or whatever, and then they have to basically go into this court ordered treatment. And that does happen across all 3 stories.
The transhumanism plays a part. This is because that's not the area that I'm at all well versed in, but would that be the whole idea of like using virtual reality to cure addiction?
Yes,
the transhumanism
Lima's
gotcha.
Intention with the aura technology was to treat addiction. That was her stated reason. Of course, I don't know if anything the woman states is true, because I don't know if anyone has mentioned this yet, but Lima went on Soft White Underbelly after Amanda Rabb passed away and said she was reading from the autopsy results and said her cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder. Well, I requested those autopsy results from the Clark County Coroner's Office, a public record, and that wasn't true. She did not die from a seizure disorder. She died on the black and white on the paper. I could send that to you too. Cardiac arrhythmia with complicating factors being like schizophrenia, hypertension. I think they put something else, obesity or something, but she did not die from a seizure disorder. So my interest in this case really peaked when I found out that Lima lied, not only lied, but very publicly on a huge platform about how Amanda died. And I still to this day don't know why she lied about it. It's clear as day. There's nothing in the autopsy report about a seizure, not even one seizure, much less being cause of death being the seizure disorder.
Wow. And you have all those documents?
I do.
Are you able to email them to me? I'm just curious because now
yeah, of course.
I don't really
I can email them to you actually right now. I'm sitting at my computer, unless you don't want to say your email publicly.
No, I have it here. Everybody emails me here. Let me show you. I'm going to put it up here. You know, I don't really cover a lot of celebrity stuff. So when I heard Bam's name there, I said, this is just, I'm overlooking it. But then with what threw me off was this transhumanism and virtual reality, that you got the sex trafficking. I'm
Right.
into the true crime stuff, right? And then we bring
Mhm.
light to other things. So this was the second email today. I've got Word send me one, and another, yep, in the chat send me one. They said, Robbie, you got to look into this. But I was really, really lost. I think for me, this is the biggest thing, is that if you have somebody that's targeting populations that people
Mhm.
wouldn't necessarily be looking for, right? Whether it's sex workers, closely to, almost to like a serial killer, right?
Yeah.
Where they have a specific target, and we just notice patterns. But here it's just
Well, one pattern I've noticed among all the people that Lima has publicly used this, I just sent you also the autopsy results and the incident
thank you.
report, the police report. Both of those I got obtained from public records. And you could also, anyone listening to this could also request these and see the same thing. This isn't like some special document that only I have, like anyone could get it. But one
Okay.
thing I noticed, and actually I'm interested in hearing your perspective as a mental health professional. I don't know if you would
I'm a
describe yourself as
social worker by trade. I have a
okay.
master's in social work. So I've worked in the field of mental health. Yes.
Perfect. So all the people who have been publicly advertised as using or supporting Aura are Amanda Rabb, who is no longer with us,
Right.
Dahlia and Dia, the twin sisters, who are missing as far as we're concerned. I mean, we don't know where they are. And Bam, all of them had been alleged to have schizophrenia.
Really?
And then, at least on the twins and Amanda, Lima came back and said, oh, that was a misdiagnosis. They didn't have schizophrenia. And it's like, well, even if they were ever diagnosed with schizophrenia, do you think it's appropriate to be using like augmented reality on them while they're in a state of not even in a place where they can legally make their own decisions? I don't know.
I mean, even the research that's done in schizophrenia now, it's a very misunderstood diagnosis. I could tell you maybe the 3 or 4 things that we know is that it typically starts later in your late 20s.
Mhm.
Women, is, uh, well, men and women, but a specific target of race, like you could look into that as well.
Mhm.
Um, but the whole idea about, I mean, there's this maintenance part to schizophrenia, right?
Mhm.
The follow-up with your professionals, and none of it has ever included trying experimental. I've never even heard of that, and I graduated in 2016. So it's like
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time even thinking that they would even try something like that in schizophrenic patients. Schizophrenia is a brain disease. Why are we? This is weird. This is weird.
Well, and I don't know if you had a chance to, I'm sure you haven't actually. Now that I'm here, it
Yeah.
seems like you're just getting caught up to the story,
I'm like,
but
what are we talking about?
one of the things that so to give you a little bit of context on me, I started all of this type of work about 3 years ago. It was during,
Okay.
the lockdowns and everything, and I was waiting to take the bar exam. I had just graduated from law school.
Okay.
Or I had just finished. There was no graduation, of course. There was none of that. But the bar exam was pushed back, and I learned about Britney Spears conservatorship. So I really kind of like got started on that avenue. So there's a lot of things with Bam that kind of paralleled Britney, which is why I got into the Bam story. But as soon as I started realizing what was going on with Bam, immediately I looked for his court paperwork, and it does show Lima had petitioned to put him in this guardianship, and then I started looking into her. Well, as soon as I Googled her, all these videos came up on Soft White Underbelly about her basically taking over this woman, Amanda Rabb's life. And this is the part of the story that really has me hooked, is that, Bam, as you probably saw, like, has reached out to me and we're kind of in touch and stuff, but public eyes are on Bam. Bam is a little bit seemingly more able to kind of be in control of what he's doing and stuff. He has my number if he needs, a signal boost. But Amanda Rabb is no longer with us. And these twins are, who knows where they are. So someone
Where's
alerted.
Amanda's family? Do we know?
Oh, that's a whole other aspect of it. Amanda's family worked with Lima to put her into the conservatorship. And Amanda had accused her father. I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but it starts with a M and ends with Oles Station. And she accused him of that more than once before he showed up on the scene. And then once he showed up on the scene, him and Lima actually did videos together on Mark's channel talking about how they're going to put Amanda into a conservatorship against her will and stuff. And they were all acting like it was just totally great and fine. And he was employed or was going to be employed by Lima's company, Aura. Lima had bought him or paid his rent for an apartment. And it is, and she said it too in the videos from, a couple years ago on Soft White Underbelly. She said it's easier to get an LPS conservatorship if the family is involved. So that's why we've been working around the clock with Larry, who's Amanda's dad.
Is there any SSI I don't know about this part. This is probably an area, but I'm thinking if you have a conservatorship, is there a maintenance fee? I'm thinking of adoptions, like maintenance fee where if you do an adoption through a state, you know what I'm saying? Especially with SSI payments and whatnot.
So that does vary from state to
Okay.
state. And within California in particular, because they've passed this new legislation with these care courts, which, a whole nother rabbit hole.
Right.
Even county by county now, it can vary how the logistics and stuff are worked out. But importantly, with Amanda, Lima and Larry they were not successful in getting a LPS conservatorship. Instead, they got court-ordered treatment through a diversion program ordered by the judge. And that's another hole in the story that I could really use some help with. I have not been able to find the court paperwork from that date. And I don't know if it's because it was in a mental health court or if it was because, I really don't know. I have it triangulated to approximately the time zone within about a 1 month period of time whenever she would have gone to court for that. But they were not successful in getting the LPS conservatorship, but they did get court ordered treatment for 1 year. So Lima takes Amanda into her care, promises that she will cover Amanda's treatment and pay for the treatment center and all that. She did multiple fundraisers for Amanda. And then just a few months after taking over Amanda's care, which would have been about August 2020, Lima transfers Amanda from her home state of California to Las Vegas, Nevada, to an Aura treatment center, which is where Amanda ultimately did pass away. Desert Hope.
We know the cause of death. I know you have we have the report here, but are you able to
this one that you have? Yeah, this is it. The cause of death officially on the paperwork is cardiac arrhythmia, and they have complicating factors or contributing factors, and those are hypertension, schizophrenia, and obesity. That's what they, black and white wrote on there.
How would they know that she died of that's weird.
Well, I mean, that's medical world is all a mystery to me. I don't know how they know anything on these.
I'm saying I thought for them to, because I mean, wouldn't they have to take the brain and study the brain and
I think they do. I think they cut open all of it. I think they do look at all that stuff. And another thing too that I don't know if got mentioned, but when Amanda first passed away, it was Mother's Day, 2021, May 9th, 2021. And Lima and Larry, Amanda's father, went on Soft White Underbelly to announce to everyone that Amanda had passed away. In that video, Lima says there was nothing in Amanda's system except Tylenol. There were no drugs. And she said they've already done a toxicology report. There's nothing in her system except Tylenol. And that wasn't true. As you can see on the report you have pulled up, she had all kinds of drugs in her system. And none of them are Tylenol. She did have some aspirin in her system, but even that's not Tylenol. So Lima never did clear up that she had way more than Tylenol in her system. And she did come back later. Lima came back, tried to straighten her story up and say, well, it would have violated HIPAA for me to tell you guys what she was on. Well, if that's the case, then you already violated HIPAA for telling us she had Tylenol in her system, if anything. But
why
that's not true. That's not how HIPAA works.
That HIPAA wouldn't work on her unless she's the one that's providing the treatment, no? Or she's the diagnosing doctor.
That's my understanding of HIPAA, yeah.
That's, oh my God. So then here's my other question though. And somebody was asking in the chat, is she suing you? Is Miss Lima suing you?
Lima is suing me for defamation. Primarily because I said she lied about Amanda's cause of death. And her claim is that she did not lie. Somebody from the Desert Hope sent somebody on her team an email that said the cause of death was schizophrenia. I'm sorry. Somebody sent an email that said the cause of death was seizure disorder. But here's the facts. Regardless of who's suing who, here's the facts. And these are all you can go check. I
Right.
invite, please. I'm asking, please, people to go and fact check this.
Okay.
Lima went on a video called Amanda's Autopsy Results -Lima, holding papers in her hand. They say at the beginning of the video, we just got the autopsy results. And about 1 minute into the video, Lima says, I'm just going to read it word for word of what we got. She proceeds to say, the cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder. And they wanted to mark it as post-traumatic epilepsy, but they couldn't do that because there was a lack of evidence. So they just marked it as seizure disorder. That is not true. Look at what they marked it as. You can read right now. Look. Do you see seizure disorder?
No seizure,
So
no
I
Tylenol.
started saying, hello, my God. This woman lied about the cause. What are the two most important things that you would assume? Okay, somebody calls you. Hey, so-and-so passed away. What's the first thing you ask? How did they pass away? What's the first thing I usually ask is, if it's a young person, was it drug related? The two most important questions you ask, were they doing drugs that caused the death, and how did they die?
Right,
and
right.
both of those were not truthful. And she's suing me now because of it.
Wow.
She said that wasn't a lie. Me and Lima have a big disagreement on what's a lie, it seems.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
Sorry. I had somebody over here. Wow. I'm just like, that's just intense.
Yeah, and then they showed this video of Amanda using the virtual reality treatment, alleged treatment. I mean, I put treatment in air quotes, but in April 2021. And by May 2021, Amanda was no longer with us. And she was holding these virtual reality things in her hand and she's screaming, what the bleep? Oh my God. She's screaming. And here's Lima off camera in the background. Amanda. Amanda. Ha 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 ha. Like, and Amanda seems to be in distress. And that's how we loop back into the sisters, the twin sisters. Someone gave me a tip that Dahlia had been that Dahlia, one of the sisters, had been arrested and charged with assault in December of last year. So I requested all of the public records from that. And I got the body camera footage. And in the body camera footage, Dahlia is saying things like she's being S-word trafficked by her mother and she's not allowed to leave and she's being stalked, harassed, R-worded repeatedly. Her mother is withholding her medications from her for her diagnoses. And then on this body camera footage, which is available on my channel, you can see the mother admits that she doesn't give Dahlia her medicine. She says she doesn't like how Dahlia acts on the medicine. So the mother does corroborate at least some of the story of Dahlia. And Dahlia is talking to these police officers saying, I don't even like talking to police officers because you guys never do your job. I've been trying to tell you for 2.5 years to take this woman to jail. It's the only thing I want is for her to go to jail. But you guys let the criminals run free on the street and you take away people who didn't do anything wrong. It's heartbreaking. And that body camera footage is what sparked me to say, like, you know what, I have to get the story out to more people. And I'm aware the mainstream, media isn't usually going to talk about a story like this for just the sheer fact that it's just so convoluted. It's so hard to get your hands around it.
It really is. I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know how to even approach this because I don't know how, even to make sense of it. But I think how you just explained it, breaking it into 3 parts was very helpful for me to kind of wrap my head around where the red flags on this story is.
Yeah. And it's once you get your hands kind of around each story, then you can see the patterns and it's just so clear.
You said that I was reading the paperwork of like the intro to the story,
Mhm.
and you said that there was these YouTube channels, White
Mhm.
Underbelly. What's another one?
Dissociate did 16 Leo.
Are these all like personalities that are connected, like they're in support of Lima and practices?
So I did not watch any of these channels before I entered into the story. So by the time I learned about these channels, it was kind of like a retrospective looking back on it.
Okay.
One such channel is a creator who does content about dissociative identity disorder. That channel is called Dissociate DID.
And they're
And
mentioned on that Instagram and her Instagram a lot. So I
a
was like,
lot, yes. Well, since the collaborations have happened, the channel and the person who does the dissociated videos has come out and said, denounced Lima and said, we don't know, anything
really?
about anything after we left. Basically, she was like, we met up with Lima and then did a collab. It was the first time anybody who was like, serious in business had approached us to collab, and we haven't kept up with them. But basically, they've come out and denounced it. Then you have Mark Leta, who yes, he does seem to support Lima. He's had her on his channel again to allow her to try and explain herself, which I think just made things much worse for her, because every time she talks, her stories conflict and don't add up. And then the 16 Leo is another channel who did a collab of sorts with Lima, and he has not come out to support or to denounce Lima. He's kind of stayed silent on it. Steve-O is on Lima's side and strongly supports Lima and has defamed me and claimed things such as I was distributing METH to Bam while Bam was here for an interview, which I've never even seen. I don't even know what it looks like. So yeah, Steve-O, yeah, he said that. So Lima does seem to have the support of, the establishment, capital T, capital E. But it's just the truth. The thing about it is it's just the truth. And a lot of it has started to come down to like, oh, well, BJ just has a personal vendetta against Lima because she's suing her. Like, no, I did this story for over a year before Lima sued me. It had nothing to do with Lima suing me. Yeah, I mean, does it aggravate me that she sued me? Yeah, because it's frivolous and meritless. A lie is a lie.
Yes.
But now I'm like, it won't take a lot to turn this into a story of like, oh, BJ versus Lima. And that is not what it is. It needs to be justice and the truth versus not justice and not the truth. And that's all I'm really concerned about.
Absolutely. And then do you know, like, how old is this girl? Where does she come from?
Great question.
I'm looking at her and she looks pretty girl, 25 years old. I don't know.
She claims to be 33. But
Really?
there is evidence that she graduated high school in 2002. So she claims to have graduated high school in 2008, and then her twin sisters would have graduated 2009. There's evidence that her sisters were in high school at least in 2008. I've not found any evidence that Lima was actually in any high school. I mean, she claims to be, and she claims to have been, but I haven't seen it. There's yearbook photos, for example, of the twins, and there's track running records and stuff like that of the twins. So they do seem to exist before, 2016 or whatever. Lima, the only real evidence I found that this person we're looking at on screen even existed before 2016 or 15 was one graduation photo that she was in on the day that the twins graduated. And other than that, I mean, she has no like record of existence.
So we don't know who her parents. I hate the, not that I'm trying to dox this lady or anything like
we
that.
We do know who her parent, well, who her mother is. So according to Lima, her father was very abusive to her sisters and herself. And if that's true, I don't really care how I feel about a person. That's not acceptable. And I do feel bad that that happened. Her mother took the girls, Lima and the twins, whenever Lima was about 5, which if she's not lying about her age would have been, mid 90s, and left from wherever they lived and went to Canada maybe. And then it's the story's all over the place, but the mother left the father when Lima was about 5 years old, according to Lima, and took the girls and they left.
Okay.
And I take it to be that they don't have any further contact with the father.
Okay.
But in that body camera footage that I just got, this is kind of like breaking. Like I just got this body camera footage less than 2 weeks ago.
Okay. And you'll be releasing that pretty soon?
It's out.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and it's in the last 5 videos I've posted on my channel, and That Surprise Witness. So the body camera footage is out. But in the body camera footage, the person who calls the cops and who is the victim or the complainant is saying she is Dahlia's mother. Now that person's name is Linda Omar, but
Okay.
I have reason to believe that is not her legal or birth certificate name. She goes by a few aliases, which is not every single one of them. Lima and both of the twins and the mother all have different names that they go by. So it even makes it so much harder to keep up with. But
Yeah.
Linda Omar, for the purposes of, the story and simplicity, is the mother, and she's on camera in that body camera footage.
Okay. Wow.
And Dahlia accused her of like controlling her with her devices, making the house feel like it's so hot she's gonna burn up. Dahlia's like, I asked her to go for a drive and she started attacking me. She frames me with the police. She lies about me to the police. And do you know what those police wrote in their report? She's
Yes.
experiencing multiple delusions about being controlled through technology and stem cells. But the police do not mention, or at least let me rephrase that. In the publicly available court documents for this assault that allegedly happened back in December, there's no mention of Dahlia's sex trafficking allegations. Just the real crazy, quote, quote, crazy stuff like being controlled through technology and having her stem cells harvested. But these
Wow.
people are very weird. I don't actually even put it past them to actually be doing something weird with stem cells. They're all associated with scientists who are doing that type of research. She is an identical twin. I'm not stupid. We know who likes to do research on identical twins. Like,
Yes.
it's not uncommon. Like, identical twins are the best research subjects for some of these things because
Well,
you have a
historically,
control.
that's what's been used too. We've known of various stories of identical twin studies and whatnot. Miss BJ, and I've got words. Miss BJ, I want to thank you so much for coming up. I gotta rewatch this video. I have to go to an appointment, and I just need to now. I appreciate you breaking this down. Everybody's like, Rabbit, you got to cover it, and of course we're gonna look into it.
Yeah.
Any piece that we can help you with, I don't know what I can help you with exactly, but if there's anything, you got my email. I just need to sit down and kind of review everything again, and
Yeah.
this is crazy.
And I sent you an email from my email too. So if you
Thank
have
you.
any questions, if you want to just compile them, put them in a list or whatever, I'm more than happy to respond or even just, send you a voice note or whatever.
Okay.
As far as what I could use help with, really, it's just exactly what you're doing, kind of trying to understand the story, because I know once people get a little bit toe in the water to the story, then their expertise and their ability to understand things from their perspective will click in, and y'all are going to notice stuff I haven't noticed yet. The ultimate goal is to prompt an investigation into Amanda Rabb's death and also into what is going on with these sisters. And I have reported and sent, reports and things to people and all that. But obviously, the more that we can get people doing this, the better, especially with these twins, because they seem to still be with us. And, unfortunately, Amanda Rabb is not. So I would like to have her death investigated, but hopefully we can help these girls and make sure that everything's, on the up and up over there, because what I saw on the body camera footage, the police completely disregarded all of her allegations. They called it yada yada, like, oh yeah, RAPE, sex trafficking, yada yada. Whoa, what are we gonna do? Like, they didn't take it seriously. I just want people to look at this story and take it seriously. So any way that y'all can help with that's the ultimate goal.
I'm gonna reach out to other true crime creators on because I know that this is gonna peak. At least various parts of it could definitely be something that can be broken into and then really looked at. And hopefully that'll bring some more awareness. But
that would be fantastic. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, and shout out to I've Got Words, and yep, they emailed me.
Thank you.
Yes, I've Got Words has been on this story since the very first videos I made about it.
Thank you.
I'm happy to help, and I sent you some links to Rabbit. I sent you the playlist on Soft White Underbelly on Amanda, so that you can see from Amanda's own words, and try to get your perspective on that, for the background.
And Miss BJ, is it okay if I reach out to you and just say,
Sure,
hey, like
yeah,
if I have
of course.
questions? Okay, cool. All right, I will let you guys go because I got to go to an appointment. But I
Okay.
appreciate you guys both. Thank you so much.
Thank
for coming
you
up.
so much. Have a great
All
rest
right.
of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
shout out to them. Oh my God. Shout out Miss BJ Investigates. You guys check out her channel. I've got words, and yep, thank you so much, you guys. I'm having to head out to an appointment. I got my headset. I'm going to go to that appointment with my headset and re-listen to everything that we just heard so that I can figure out, where do I go start? Well, where do we start from here? This is a big deal. If people are targeting populations, we definitely need to bring some awareness to this. And make sure you share on Twitter. Make sure you share everywhere. We're live on Facebook. Shout out to everybody from Facebook. I will let you guys go because I got to head out, but I will see you guys on the next one. And the rabbit is out. Bye, guys.